Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I always like to start the week with you. Yes, I am also very excited about this great group coming together. But I can't stop sharing some teachings here, and present some comments. Interesting, when we asked you to create groups to study the letters, to learn what is there, to simply listen to each other, read how the other understood each point of the cards. You are not obliged to give your opinion or actively participate in the groups. The idea is that you can see things from other angles. Each sentence placed in that book can have a personal interpretation, and it is very enriching and interesting for you to see other people's opinions, that you realize the difficulty that a brother is having in understanding that text, which for you was so simple, it was so easy for you to understand that point. Why? Why does this difficulty exist? Hey, raise a lesson. Each soul has a journey, so far nothing new, you all already know that. When the soul is that soul, which cannot remain still, he is a soul very uncomfortable with the lack of things to do, who likes to learn new things, who likes to always be seeking knowledge, wisdom. This type of soul, normally, over the years, centuries, and millennia, these souls manage to have a complete library in their memories. They are extremely wise souls, they are souls who are extremely easy to understand, everything that is said. Because you've already gone through that process, you know, there were so many attempts, that soul learned. And today, when she reads a simple sentence, she transforms that it is not such a profound teaching that it is easy for her to understand everything that is written there. I recognize that some souls were prepared with this extra ingredient. With the ingredient of wisdom, insight, understanding problems. Yes, some were prepared for this, but it is not guaranteed that they have reached a point, which is the balance corresponding to their creation. So it is not a determining factor whether a soul is wise or not. I would say that the desire to learn, to evolve, is worth more in the journey of the soul than its origin and its determination. So we have two types of souls, those restless souls, who like to learn, like to have knowledge, who think it's wonderful, when any subject is said, they can understand and take advantage of it. Realize that I'm not talking, that the soul is having contact with anyone. So there is no ego involved. There is pleasure, the pure pleasure of that soul, in learning, in moving forward, in seeking new paths, in seeking alternatives, it belongs to that soul. And the more she searches, the more she wants to search. So we call these souls wise souls. Because they easily understand everything that is said, they can absorb exactly where their mistakes are, because they really realize that there is an error there. They don't keep hammering. No, I didn't make a mistake, you said I made a mistake, but I didn't make a mistake. They are not stubborn souls, they are easy souls to deal with, because a simple piece of advice makes these souls think, realize where they were wrong. And yes, they can improve, they can always move forward. I can say that these souls are there, in front of my squad. Because they can easily understand everything that is said and they surrender to that process and elevate themselves. So this is a type of soul. Now I'm going to talk about the other opposite extreme. Those souls who, as I always say, like to stay online, don't like to do much. They do it because they have to, they do it because they have to survive. They eat because if they don't eat, they die. They work because if they don't work, they have no way to support themselves, but they look for those very mediocre jobs, which don't give them the need to think too much. That very mechanical thing that won't be a problem. Then I won't have to think. This is how souls think. So they are souls who are content with nothing, they are content with what is essential to stay alive. They are not concerned with analyzing, understanding, evolving, improving, no, this is extremely tiring for them. So they remain on that negative threshold, their entire existence, not just talking about this incarnation, I'm talking about the entire existence of the soul. She always remains there, at that level. You often say that you are stupid people. I wouldn't say they are stupid people. Because the donkey gets stuck, yes, but he gets stuck because he has willpower. He stalls, because he understands what is happening. And he doesn't want to do that, not because he's stupid, not because he doesn't understand what you're asking. He is just being against what you are asking for, and you called him stupid. So, I cannot call these souls stupid. Because they are not stuck, they are not being against anything, they are not doing anything. Calling them stupid is a compliment, because the donkey is stupid in your conception, not in what he actually is. So they are extremely rested souls, extremely without purpose in life, no purpose for anything. Whatever comes is fine. If you have something to eat today, it's good. If you don't have it, tomorrow you will have it, and does nothing to improve that situation. They are extremely lazy souls, that is the term. Not stupid. They are lazy, and most of the time, they depend on others to live. They stick to those who are the opposite extreme and keep absorbing the crumbs from those who work exhaustively. Because she doesn't want to work, she wants to do as little as possible, she wants to be online all the time. So we have two opposite souls, those who want everything and those who want nothing. And we are halfway there. Of course, in everything in life, there is a balance. So let's say that those who are very wise are at a point. Those who are nothing, because they don't want to be anything, by their own decision, are at the other extreme. And in the middle are those souls, who are the middle ground. So we can say that we have a triangle, on one side are the wise souls, on the other the lazy souls, and in the middle, those souls that balance between one side and the other. It's like a big graph, where in the middle is the largest number of souls. Very good. So some souls, from this middle group, have an easier time understanding things and are closer to wise souls, and there are those who don't have it easy and are closer to lazy souls. And there is a middle, that central point, which we can say is balance. It is that soul that learns what needs to be learned, but also does not run after it to learn anything else. So I can tell you that each of you places yourself at a point on this triangle, on this graph. Some are more to the left, others are more to the right, but the vast majority are in the center. Now what I should draw your attention to is not recriminating those who just search and don't keep searching all the time. No, not at all. You are walking, so much so that you are at the top of this graph. The vast majority are like this: learn what needs to be learned, don't run after anything else. Live one challenge at a time. When that challenge ends, phew, I finished a great challenge. Now I will rest. And a long time passes without imposing new challenges. Now where do I want to go with all of this? Those souls that tend towards the right side, lazy souls, unfortunately they are also souls with little energy. They are souls with petty thoughts, with low thoughts, they don't have good thoughts, only low vibration thoughts. So these souls are easily co-opted by the other side. Because the lazier, the more ignorant a soul, the more they work on the minds of these souls, so that they become more and more ignorant and lazier. Because they will definitely be good soldiers for them. They will do whatever they want. Those souls, who seek to understand, who are always looking for a challenge, it doesn't matter if it is a constant or sporadic challenge, they are wise souls, they are intelligent souls, and it is more complicated for them to maneuver. Because they can see the lie easily, which others cannot. Especially because they lie all the time, to justify that state of inertia that they live in. Very good. So, souls are classified in terms of wisdom. The extreme, of the extreme wisdom of those souls, who never tire. At the other extreme, the souls who want nothing, and this graph goes up until it reaches the middle, which is very high. Where is the vast majority? Unfortunately, in this graphic, I can tell you that the right side is bulkier. Few souls approach, on the left side, innate wisdom. Because many like to learn, yes, but they don't want to have work. They want to always remain, being able to do what they want, they don't want to get too involved. It is a decision for each soul. We can say that all the characteristics of a soul are passed on to human consciousness. Where you, as human consciousnesses, can modify the soul. The soul can be very slow, very lazy, but if you are born into a family of scholars, what do? Human consciousness, study, learn, be wise, you change your soul. Because this wisdom, everything you do, passes into the soul. And the soul begins to see that it is not so bad to change, and she learns too. As well as the opposite, it is also possible. That very wise soul, born into a family of extreme laziness of soul, and she starts to rethink, whether it's worth wanting to be so wise, and she starts to simply settle down. And that soul that was so wise becomes a lazy soul. So, my brothers, this whole story I told is worth a lot to each of you. What do you understand by wisdom? What do you understand by intelligence? No one is. I'm going to use the word dumb again, but why do you use that word? Because the poor animal has nothing to do with it. Some people are what you call stupid, because they didn't have a chance, because that soul, unfortunately, was born in a place that only encouraged laziness. So, she didn't have a chance to develop her wisdom. No one is born stupid, just as no one is born smart. The soul may be intelligent, but if the human consciousness wants to change that, it changes. So no one is born stupid or intelligent, what happens is the surroundings, what counts is the means.